That's Grace Potter.
Hey.
It would have been funny if you had Eric sitting there. I'd be like, "Whoa, Grace."
Oh, I know. He's been my stand-in in the past, but
I am not camera ready.
he's not camera ready. He has not. Yeah, it's right. He needs to do his full face mask and eye rolls, and yeah, it's all
I understand that. Hey, Grace, we're going to kind of get things going real quick. My kids are big fans of yours, and they're in school right now. My wife teaches at the school they're at, and it was, they weren't able to be here, and that's fine because it'll be quieter. But I just kind of wanted to play something for you because instead of them asking questions, I thought we would just go back in the Wayback Machine, and hopefully you can see this, but you'll definitely be able to hear it. And this is when they were 4 years old, and I just wanted you to.
God.
If I was in Paris, I would say, ooh la 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 la, ooh la 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 la.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ooh la 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 la. If I was a peerless, I'll say, ooh la 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 la.
She only got one of those out, and
My God.
it was actually in Perilous, not Paris.
Perilous journey to get to Paris. Oh
It's
my
perilous.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was one of their rocking songs that they just sang when they were going to school or daycare or whatever. So that was good stuff. So
I'm so happy.
how can we have a bad interview after that, Grace?
If you start it like that, then we are going to be, it's all beautiful and downhill from here.
It's the Beach Happy Podcast, inspired by small town life along Florida's Gulf Coast. Brought to you by Shunk Gully on 30A, winner of the 30A Hotspot Award for casual dining and best oysters. Let's hit the beach.
Grace Potter kicks off Moon Crush this April with the Revivalist same night. Crazy. That's going to be a wild night. You got to check out the full lineup at mooncrush.live. Limited tickets are available. A safely connected music vacation in Miramar Beach. And we have Grace Potter on the podcast. Grace, how are you?
Howdy. I'm so good. So good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Very cool. I am kind of freaking out because you're kind of on the interview list of people I have to interview before, well, I don't do interviews anymore. So where are you today and how you been?
I am currently located in my hometown of the Mad River Valley in Vermont. And we have been here since June of the lockdown year, the year of our not so awesomeness. But it's been pretty cool because I wasn't planning on being in Vermont, and now we accidentally bought a farm, and here we are.
That was kind of my next question. Is it seems like that's your area, but you've bought a farm now and you're not leaving. Does that area really influence you and help make your music more Grace?
Well, yeah, I mean, I came from here, so I obviously there's sort of a humility and there's a spirit of community in Vermont that I didn't really appreciate when I was growing up, which is that you can pretty much rely on any neighbor to pull you out of a jam. And when Hurricane Irene hit, which was, a decade ago now, but we're still seeing, the fallout from it, we all came together in a way that actually it reestablished the community in such a powerful way because there are few people living up here. It's not a huge city, but the infrastructure is based on sort of the soul connectivity of the community. And it's just obviously translated into my music in a million different ways.
A lot of people were stuck in their towns or stuck in cities. Were you fortunate to have been stuck? I say stuck, you were locked down, whatever. It was great to be in your area.
It was wonderful to be home and to have my people, I had my mom and my dad and my sister and my brother, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. It was a whole community within one household, essentially. I mean, it's not all one household, but it's sort of a compound. My parents are kind of hippies. I don't know if you've picked up on the hippie vibe, but there's a bit of that going on here. And I also really loved it because we'd been in California where I have an amazing, my husband and I created a beautiful home out there. And that's where I gave birth to my son in the bathtub in my house. And I was really chasing the Vermont adventure out in California. So it just sort of followed us back to my hometown.
You write and you perform. Which do you prefer?
Performing. Writing is very stressful for me. It's usually really cathartic. And like with the album Daylight, it was incredibly therapeutic. But writing stresses me out because it's the processing, when you go to a music festival, do you know that feeling you have like the day after, the 2 days after, where your body's still kind of dancing? Like, that's what I live off of. I live off of the fumes of one experience to the next. And I'm super connected to the vibrations that I feel when I'm around other people. So you can imagine that, COVID and the lockdown has created a pretty big conundrum for me, because I don't have that thing to feed off. So I'm going a little crazy. But writing songs, I've always been through, this happens once every 3 years or 2.5 years when I have to write a new album. It's really like going into lockdown. I have to start getting all thinky again. And it feels kind of brain surgical. I don't like it.
So being on stage is not thinky.
No, I'm not even there. Just so you're all aware. I mean, when I'm on stage, I am fully channeling. I always say, like, I am the antenna. I'm the antenna of the universe or of the crowd. The audience needs something from you. Every single concert that you buy a ticket to, you go to that concert hoping for something, right? And I, as the performer, feel that. I know it. I can tune into every person, not literally, but I really do feel it. Like, the second I walk on stage, I can tell that there's something everyone came there for. And that changes from night to night, from crowd to crowd. And it really is just this collective consciousness that we all experience in many times. I mean, I've had it, when I'm in a big crowd, in DC at Obama's inauguration, that happened to me, where I was like, suddenly I felt myself a part of something bigger than myself. And every concert I've ever been to, I remember one time I was at a Bob Dylan concert, and I was completely overcome with a sensation of a song that I didn't know. I'd never heard before, that he had just pulled out of his back pocket, and someone else knew it. And so I felt like I knew it because I was standing next to someone who knew that song. And that happens in so many different ways and translates so powerfully with live music. And it's the thing I miss the most.
We miss it too, for sure. This is a really tough question, or it might not be. What makes Grace happy?
Figure skating, art. I like painting houses. I like sweeping floors. I really enjoy fashion. I love lighting a space. So, like, right now we're in my new favorite room in the house. This is what I call the aunt chair. It's actually just a large couch, but it's like a hug from your favorite aunt. And I've taken up painting again. I've also taken up pottery recently, because being Grace Potter, I thought, with COVID, maybe what better use of my time than to figure out how to actually become a ceramicist. So, I'm making ceramics.
I can see a line. Hopefully you bought the domain Grace Pottery. Are you happy?
I haven't. No, don't. Yeah, now I gotta go do that. Oh God. Okay.
Eric, get on it.
Eric, get on it. Domain, gracepottery.com.
That's really funny. Are you a happy person by nature, or do you have to work at it?
What do you think? Look at me.
I don't think you have to work at it at all.
I'm a pretty bright, shiny person, but at the same time, when I go dark, like, it's not this thing where I want to disappear and never ever see anybody again. I don't have that level of despair, but when I'm sad, it's sort of, it is not something that you can just pull yourself up by the bootstraps and figure out. And I think COVID and even this winter, being in Vermont has forced me to really address some of those harder and more uncomfortable moments in life, where usually I could just like go play a show or jump in my car and go on a road trip up the coast of California and just pretend that it's not happening. And in these moments in life, you can't do that. You have to really sit with those feelings. And it's been incredibly healing for me. And it's actually, I think, making me an even happier person, somebody that's going to be more at peace as I move forward in life.
Well, we're a beach lifestyle company. We have a Beach Happy podcast. We have a What am I trying to say?
Like Mackie speaker?
Happy magazine.
Mackie. I like Mackie speakers. They're very loud.
Beach Happy magazine. And we really do try and focus on what you just said, which is staying positive and enjoying outdoors and being at the beach. Do you have a first memory of the beach from where you are? Vermont has beaches, right?
You should know something about me. I miss the beach in California more than I should. And I'm going to send you a photograph, which you can share with your listeners and viewers, even very shortly. But basically, I miss the beach so much because there really isn't much beach here in Vermont that I created a tiki pond skating rink, which is full. It's got palm trees. It's got hammocks. We even found an organic indigo dye so that we could get a Caribbean blue color to our frozen pond outside. And I wish I was exaggerating, but you're dealing with a real deal crazy person here who loves the beach that much. I'm so excited to come to the beach in Florida. You have no idea, to the point where I kind of projected myself into the future. And here you can see, as we will share with you, a photo of my tiki pond.
I love that. Let me ask you this. Tell me a memory of the beach. Do you have a song that you were inspired by, or a song that you wrote that maybe had to do with the beach that kind of influenced it?
Well, the first song that comes to mind for me is actually my title. It's the title track to the first record I put out with the Nocturnals. It's called Nothing But the Water. And when I wrote that song, I was going through this phase where I didn't have a religion. I didn't have a specific God I was praying to, but I did feel like the water was an incredible force that sort of made me feel like I was connected to God in some way. It was a channeling of my fire spirit into a place that could cool me down and ground me. And the water became a real force, a force of life for me. And so I wrote the song Nothing But the Water, essentially about finding peace and finding my spirituality in the water. And that was Lake Champlain in Burlington, Vermont, where I sort of dove into the water one night and said, this is purification for me. Beyond that, one of my favorite moments with the water was on the beach in Malibu shooting the music video for You and Tequila with Kenny Chesney, because he's a beach guy. I'm a beach gal. And I had met Kenny based on the fact that he heard my voice floating on his boat somewhere in St. John. He heard my voice and said, that's the voice I want for my song You and Tequila on the album Hemingway's Whiskey. He called me cold. I didn't know much, if anything, about Kenny Chesney, but found myself a couple months later at this music video shoot in this gorgeous house in Malibu, private beach, and I've never had a private beach. And so, of course, what do I do? Vermont hippie girl, I tear off all my clothes and get naked because it's a private beach. Why wouldn't you do that? But then I was shown by the directors and the people that were dealing with the schedule that I couldn't just be naked jumping in the water the whole time. So then they got me into my costume and we commenced with filming the music video. But that was a very powerful beach moment for me. I just needed to get it out of my system.
That's an amazing story. I kind of want to dive into one of your songs that I've always liked, and Empty Heart is an unbelievable live song for me. I mean, I've seen it once and I thought it was amazing. Is there any chance that future Grace Potter went back in time and gave humans this song before 2020 in hopes that we could actually hear these lyrics in a bigger way now? How have you thought about that?
I travel through time a lot. I'm like, I love and believe in like multiple space-time trajectories. So I'm glad that you brought up space-time continuums, because yes, most of my songs I wrote in the future and they're coming to me in the past. And so they're all to service the world in some way. Sometimes it's for me, sometimes it's for everyone. Empty Heart is definitely an everyone song. And it's a song that I feel cries out to the masses. And it's also very, very happy. Like, it reminds me of all my favorite songs. Like, I love the Kinks. And I love the sound of, I don't know, Use Me, Bill Withers. Like, the beginning of that song just gets me. And so it was really a combination of beat, rhythm, and like a spiritual energy that brought me forward. I don't remember writing that song. I know I did. I was in a casino. And Usher, so the people right next door to me were playing Usher so loud that I could not remove the 808 kick drum from my demo. And so instead of fighting it, I actually just used the kick from their room and I just started playing guitar and keyboards over it. So it was like this. And that's really where it came from, was like, when you can't fight the beat, you got to roll with it, you know?
That's great. And that's the story I wanted to hear about that song. Time travel.
Cool.
That is really, really great.
Time travel, Usher, and yeah, exactly. Can't fight the beat.
Yeah, live music is making a comeback. You have Moon Crush in our neck of the woods coming up in Miramar Beach. You've got Grand Point North Music Festival, which is on, correct? And you helped create that.
As of now, we have not announced any acts, but it is so it was supposed to be the 10th annual this year. And so we are really hoping for our makeup year. It'll be 11 years going on this September. And we had such an amazing lineup. I'm so fingers crossed that things move forward. If we have to do it from boats, we're going to do it. But it'll be very, very exciting if that can happen this year.
I love it. Let's just talk about, will Moon Crush be your first stage performance since coming out of 2020?
Sad to tell you that no, it will not be, because I am actually renegade COVID live music performance guinea pig. I didn't know this when my booking agent booked me, but Hank and I have a long relationship. Hank is my booking agent, and he said, what would you do if you could? And I said, what wouldn't I do? So I've tried every drive-in in the Northeast. I've tried every socially distanced gig that exists. I have played them all. Sometimes I have even played an indoor gig, which I didn't know was indoors until I was already there. But I have played the boundaries of what is possible in live music to the depths of my capacity as someone who wants to be safe during these times. And I know what works, I know what doesn't work, and I know that Moon Crush is going to work. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be such a spectacular collection of musicians, and obviously the coolest fans out there. So I can't wait for it.
I love it. I can't tell you how much it means to us as fans to see our favorite artists connecting with us in every capacity you guys do. You did a lot of live streams. I wanted to thank you for that. It was boring.
I know.
We needed music, and it was really boring, but you guys really stepped up. Is there a different song that we spoke about earlier that took on a different meaning that you wrote that kind of got you through 2020 that you didn't know that it would mean anything?
Oh, well, I mean, I hate to say that it was my song, but it was the song that I wrote for the album Daylight. It's called Release. And that song for me was at the beginning of the album. It was about letting go of a relationship and letting go of intentions and letting go of what I thought my life was going to look like and saying goodbye. And then also wishing that other side, the sort of perpendicular character being the ex or the person that you're saying goodbye to, wishing them well and that they will also find release and forgiveness. And now that song is a completely different beast. It's like everything that I've experienced since COVID started is exactly that. It's like my whole life as I know it has not just transitioned into something new, it's completely different. I mean, it's the sacrifices that I've had to make, that the people around me have had to make, the loss of human life that we've experienced is almost incomprehensible. And it's really reshaping the way I'm looking at my life as I want to move into the future. And I'm not going to take a single day for granted. And it's just, I've sort of stopped being in my own head. It's not about me at all anymore. It's a song for the people. And it's a song about forgiving yourself and moving forward with your life and grieving the expectations that we all had, the hopes that we all had, and being able to move forward knowing that just because it's not what we thought it was going to be doesn't mean it can't be amazing.
I love that. We're going to wrap up with 5 questions with Grace Potter. You can check her out at, what did I just say? Yes.
Grace
you can check her out at Moon Crush. Yeah. Check her out at Moon Crush. It's 5 questions with Grace Potter, and it's just quick answers. You don't have to really think about this. You don't have to be thinky.
Flash Gordon, let's do this.
There we go. What guitarist, past or present, would you want to play alongside for your last live song ever?
Jimmy Page.
Agreed. That's a great one. What is more likely to be real? Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, or aliens?
Aliens.
Your favorite song you can listen to on repeat on a long road trip?
Ooh, that's really hard. I think probably Rhiannon, Fleetwood Mac, Rhiannon, but no, I think it's The Ark by Jerry Rafferty.
Like that one too. What would you tell kids that are interested in songwriting?
Don't try too hard.
That's good advice. And this last one was submitted via a text message. Has anyone asked you to sign their flying V if they promise to make the art a centerpiece in their home? That is from Cooper and Chloe from Santa Rosa Beach. That sounds very familiar.
I have a feeling I have, and I have a feeling that it is now the centerpiece of someone's over someone's mantle, possibly.
I love that. That was my kids begging you to sign a guitar, but we don't even have a flying V, so it's all good.
That means you're asking for a free flying V. That's what's happening.
No,
okay.
Apparently they want me to buy one and bring it to the concert.
Well, they're all sold out, babe. I'm sorry to tell you. We'll have to get creative with that one. We'll see what we can
That's
do.
funny. That was just kind of a joke anyways. Grace Potter joining us on the Beach Happy podcast. It's been an extreme pleasure. Thank you for the technical Zoom stuff at the beginning. It'll never reach air, but it was memorable.
Absolutely. I'm going to send you the picture of the tropical pond shortly. So.
I can't wait.
Right.
Thank you, Grace.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Beach Happy Podcast, produced at the 30A Radio Studios in South Walton, Florida. Listen to past episodes at 30A.com online or at soundcloud.com/Beach Happy Podcast. Until next time, Beach Happy.